Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in. I'm guessing this will be the husband series when I think about stuff, for husbands and just things I've learned along the way, just a couple tips or whatever, or something I may be doing that I could share. Hold on, I thought I heard somebody outside my office. But I want to talk to you about loving your wife. Now, in our world, this is not really something that we talk about often as men. And to be honest with you, it really hurts us a lot. And it hurts us in a lot of ways because if you don't have unity on the home front, then imagine how your children are being raised. They're being raised seeing division. They're being raised seeing, this kind of disdain for one another. And they don't understand the male and female dynamic because of how their mother and father interact. But as a man, one thing that I've come to, and it wasn't easy getting there, but one thing I've come to is just understanding that as a husband, and I read this quote one time that says, your strength is your gentleness. And so I had to come to the place to where I had to look at myself and I said, okay, why did I choose this woman? Why did I ask this woman to be my wife? And was I sane? Was I healthy? Was I whole? In the sense of like, was I using my right mind? I wasn't high, I wasn't drunk, I wasn't being forced. So why her? And do I trust my judgment? And the answer was like, yes. I chose a woman who I felt has great character, is a great person. So if I feel like that, then why should I want to control her, to manipulate her, to cheat on her, to deceive her, or to not have her at her highest state of self? Why would I want that? So I had to ask myself that. So I went into this space, where I had been just a typical man, just condescending at times, rude at times, just kind of like, bullheaded, just type of guy like my way or the highway, trying to kind of be forceful, trying to be this tough guy, what we think is being a man. And then I went into this space to where I shifted and I started to learn how to love. And in this space, I just allowed my wife to be herself, just be herself. I used to try to, tell her like who to be, how to be, in the sense of at a soccer game. Every now and then I gotta still calm her down so she doesn't get into a fight. But she's just very loud and she says a whole lot, and just that personality. She talks nonstop the whole game to the other parents. She's yelling at the referee. And I wanted her to be like me, more quiet and reserved. And she just outgoing. We go to a family party, she's on the dance floor. She's dancing the entire night. I'm a wallflower. And so I didn't know every side of her, of course, when we got married, because we didn't have kids. And so we weren't going to, soccer games before we got married. And we had my son, but he was so young. So I didn't know that side of her till later. And then, you going through this, y'all gotta forgive me if you hear music in the background. My baby boy, he loves this song called The Lion and the Lamb. I think it's by, I don't know, Big Country Weave or somebody. It's a Christian song. Man, he loved that song. It's blasting while he was taking a bath. And so I didn't know every side of my wife and everything about her. And so as far as just in different scenarios, and I wanted to try to change her and make her more like me and make her be who I wanted her to be. And I was young too. I was 21 when I met her. We broke up for a little bit. We got back together 6 months later. And so I was 22 then, and then we got married 10 months later. After we got back together, we got married 10 months later, and I had just turned 23. So I was a young man. So if you older, you gotta make this change faster. So the first thing is I stopped trying to change her. Just let her be her, and trust that I chose a good woman. Let her be her, and understand that she is not intended to be my clone. She's not intended to think just like I think. It's not it doesn't make sense for her to be just like me, because then we lose our strength, we lose our value, because we're the same. So our household will be stronger if we see things a little differently, And, I could see one way. I have certain strengths. She has certain strengths. Where she's weak, I'm strong. Where I'm weak, she's strong. And so we complement one another. And so I had to realize that. The other thing I had to realize is a part of not trying to change her is also, allowing her to keep her righteous mind, like, and leaning to her for insight. Because if I win, she wins. If I lose, she loses. So she doesn't want me to lose, because if I'm losing, she's losing. But a lot of times in marriage, as a man, we think that, our woman is against us. She doesn't want to see us grow. She doesn't want to see us do well. She doesn't want to see us live our dreams. But what we may be calling a dream is actually a fantasy. What we may be pursuing, it might not be the right time. It might not be the right season. It might not be the right method. But her standing on the outside of that dream, of that pursuit, she could see more clearly. And so when you trust her as your teammate that you chose to marry, when you trust her as your teammate, it's at that point to where now you get to see her genius. And her genius may not be about business and smarts and all of that. It's just you get to see the woman's intuition. You get to see just her sense, her feel. And you get that feedback, but it's feedback from someone who truly loves you and truly wants to see you win. And see, a lot of times as men, we don't value our woman's feedback in business. Some of my best books and my best projects, my best launches in business in the tech space was okayed and stamped by my wife. So it's like, hey, baby, I want to go open a Forgiato rim shop. Absolutely not. That's going to take your time away. That's not your purpose. That's not your thing. Like, if you sitting on $1 billion at 50 years old and you just want to build up all these business, you got money to waste, then okay, cool. No, that's not the move to make. Man, you don't want to see me grow. You don't want to see me. That's, as a man, that's what we want to do. Hey, babe, I want to create this tech company, my mentor.life, where life coaches and consultants and mentors can sign up, and they pay a monthly fee of $20 a month. But I'm driving tens of thousands of people there every day, every month, every week, and they get booked. But when they get booked, they keep 100% of their bookings. And yeah, do that. That makes perfect sense. You're a life coach. You're a celebrity life coach. You're an international life coach. You've been life coaching for, at that time when I started having my mentor.life built, I probably had been coaching like 10, 11 years. And so I think 11 years. And so it was like, yeah, do that. And it took like 2 years for us to build it, and then launched it January 2020. And it's working. It's going great. Some of y'all watching this are a coach on there, and some of y'all have been booked on there, and some of y'all have gone and booked a coach or a consultant on there. So it was like, she's not against me. It's just she reins me in if I'm thinking real crazy. And then I had to realize, like, she wants to see me flourish. I've been talking about a Sprinter for so long, the Sprinter van, to where it has them seats in there. I just love that type of thing, just having that space and just being able to do a road trip with my family, just be comfortable. Like, my family could be comfortable instead of just in a normal car. And I just agreed to get a Sprinter. And she was like, yeah, go ahead, do it. I got to put down $50,000 because I didn't want to have to show tax returns. And so to finance more than $100,000, I would have to show last 2 years tax returns. And just being a public figure, I don't know this random person at this place who gonna be talking about my business at the barbershop. So I got other cars that, I didn't have to show any tax returns or bank statements or anything. So the guy said, well, if we finance under 100K, $50,000 is not a little bit of money for something that, I want as a man. And she said, cool. But when I say, hey, babe, I want to open a car lot. No, that's a whole job. You don't know anything about that industry. And it's a lot of sleaziness in that industry. And you so honest, it's not really an honest man's industry. You probably gonna be losing money in a car lot. So you see what I mean? As a husband, you have to lean on your wife to, you go to her and you get her insight about your dreams, your hopes, your plans. And if you're loving her, then she's going to be in a space to where she can think clearly. And God has given her a gift to see what you can't see, to feel what you can't feel, to hear what you can't hear, think in a way that you don't think. And so that's why she's an asset, not a liability. So you literally gotta, and what I do to get my wife in that space is I don't argue with her. I don't try to nitpick. I don't try to argue. And I respect that she's a human being. So I don't expect my wife to cook dinner every day. Today, I had her get me some fast food, my son some fast food, and I don't know how to cook. She can cook, but she didn't learn how to cook until we got together. Her mom did all the cooking and didn't teach her how to cook because she played so many sports. So she wasn't really raised to be like the, domesticated wife. She was an athlete. She played basketball, volleyball, and ran track, and then had straight A's in school. So she was busy. And her mom was a single mom, sometimes working 2-3 jobs. So just learning how to get in the kitchen and just cook, they didn't have that luxury in their life the way it was set up. So I don't judge her for that. I don't look at her like less than a woman. And I'm not expecting her to just be like a maid around the house, just cleaning every day. And a lot of times as men, we put these labels on our wife and we say, okay, you need to be cooking every day. You need to be cleaning every day. And it's like, if the house is a mess, and it's because we ripping and running, both sons playing 3 sports each and maintaining straight A's, and the straight A's is all my wife, because she doing the 2 hours to 4 hours or more of studying every day with our 2 sons. And every morning, every night, she doing the studying, and that's taking hours. And the reward for that is both of my sons, our sons, have straight A's, no A minuses. Then I'm not going to trip about her not being in the kitchen for an hour when she was doing homework for an hour. You know what I could do as a man? I could learn how to cook. I don't have the time to learn how to cook, and I don't really have the desire to learn how to cook. So what I do is I do business, and then I earn enough income to where tonight is Chef Olive Garden. Tonight might be Chef McDonald. Tonight might be Chef Domino's. And I know a lot of people ain't in the, eating out and all of that. But listen, I'm covered by the blood of Jesus, and I'm gonna be all right. I'm doing just fine. My body fine. I'm doing fine. I'm healthy, perfect bill of health. I'm good. And we balance. And then she'll cook. When she got time. When we got time and we home and stuff work out, then she cooking. And even when we cook, it might be taco night, might be burger night. We ain't in here chewing on celery and raw foods and all that. And my wife, being a biomedical science major and a medical sciences master, she know about the body and how the body works, and she believe in living a balanced life. So my wife literally will eat a Big Mac, and then the next day I might see her eating a bowl of vegetables. And so she believe in balance, and she believe in, adapting and adjusting to your lifestyle. And with what we do with sports and where we have to go, sometimes you got to eat on the run. And so I let her be her, and I let her, get in a space that is comfortable for her to operate as her highest self in her gifts and abilities, instead of putting her in a box and saying, look, you need to be cooking dinner every day so we could save money. You need to be cleaning every day so that we never have a messy house. And I don't do that. It's like, if I need something done and she tied up, she busy, then I could do it. I could cook, I could clean if I need to do that. And if that ain't my thing, and that's her, like, that's what she's good at. And there's a lot of times like, hey baby, you want me to do this? Can I clean up here? She's like, no, because you don't know how to do that. I'm gonna have to go behind you anyways. I got it. So I said, okay, cool. And she want to operate in where she operate. And then what it does is she allows me, like right now it's probably 8:45 at night, and I'm in my office and I'm shooting a video, and she getting the boys ready for bed, and that mean a lot to her. Like, that mean a lot to her. Her doing that, her having that role, and she been cleaning all day, house, looking good, and that's what she want to do. She put her podcast on, and so I let her do her, and then guess what? She give me the space to do my job, my calling, which is bigger than a job, my calling, and she don't trip about it. And I'm gonna finish this video, and then I'm gonna go watch one of the college teams that I mentor. I'm a life coach for pro and college sports teams. I'm gonna go watch one of the teams that I mentor play a big game tonight. And then we're gonna watch that together when the boys get in bed. She actually got to make a quick run to her mama house to pick up a couple things, and we just have that freedom to like go. I'm not, oh, you going to see your boyfriend? Oh, where you going? I ain't questioning her like that and doubting her. I was just getting ready to go to the grocery store for her, but her mom is at the grocery store, so she asked her mom to pick up the things she need for tomorrow, because normally we have groceries delivered through Shipt, which that's another thing. I got to the place to where I had to stretch my mind and stop being so frugal. So our groceries are delivered. That costs I think it's like $99 a month or $35 or something like that. But it's something, and we go through Shipt. And if you order more than $35, I think, worth of food, then the delivery is free. And then you pay a monthly fee for the service. But that saves a lot of time. It saves an hour, 2 hours. So if she needs to do something else, so I be okay and approve that. Like, I'm not gonna fight that fee. Whereas a lot of times as men, we can afford something, or we can make something happen to where we can afford it that would provide more convenience to help our woman. But instead, we so penny pinching, and we so frugal, and we so scarcity minded that we tell her no for things that will give her an advantage, that will give her a little more time in her schedule. But then when something looks good for us, this investment we want to make, then we expect her to say yes. Now, when I wanted to buy, I had a Bitcoin and I gave it to my partner when the Bitcoin was $3,000. Now Bitcoin trading at like 38,000. My money could have been nice and long in Bitcoin, but I gave it to my partner. He bought him another one. Now he got 2.5 Bitcoins. When Bitcoin was at $19,000, I asked my wife. She don't know what cryptocurrency is. I've learned about it and understand it, and I said, listen, this thing could go to zero. They call it fool's gold. But some people say, hey, this the future, this the next wave, like decentralized money. I said, can I invest in Bitcoin? It was 19,000 plus per coin. My wife said yes. A couple weeks later, a month later, the thing go to 30,000, 40,000 a coin. Guess what? It hit. It worked. It was like, wow. Now, it could go to zero, but when I asked her, she said, okay, you make that investment, it ain't gonna kill us. Don't put the word you can't lose, to where don't put something that if it go to zero, we hurt. Just do what we can afford to lose if it go to zero. Her wisdom, she was on board. That was something that a lot of women, that if she in the wrong space, you got her agitated, aggravated, and you come hollering about some cryptocurrency, a lot of women no. So you hear what I'm saying? How I'm showing you, like, I had to get on my grind and get to a space to where she peaceful. I'm not arguing with her. I ain't yelling at her. I'm not accusing her of nothing. I'm not questioning her. I'm giving her quality time. I'm not ignoring her. I'm listening to her talk. I'm supporting her. And then I'm showering her in every love language that I can speak. And so my wife coming through some tough times in her life with her mom, because her mom from Jamaica had to work on the table at certain times, and having some tough times, having a nice Christmas, having a nice birthday party. Those things mean a lot to my wife. So you have to identify those things that mean a lot to your wife, something that just means something to her, and it may mean nothing to you. It may not be your thing, but you have to love your wife the way she needs to be loved, not the way you want to love, not the way you were taught to love, not the way you know how to love. You have to learn her and the way she needs to be loved and love her in that way. And you love her in that way relentlessly. And you don't throw it in her face and you don't ask her, well, what she's going to do for you. But you keep loving her, because see, sometimes when you're loving her, what you have to realize is you're helping heal her heart. You're helping heal her heart so that she can give you her whole heart, because she's been through some things that have nothing to do with you. Some things you don't even know that she's gone through, because she don't know how you're going to react if she tells you. So when you're loving her and you're like, man, I bought her a for nothing gift, and then she ain't give me no nightcap. She ain't want to sing on the microphone, so I'm laying over here with blue all, and she's sitting over there snoring after I just gave her for nothing gift. Look, she tired. That's why man, she sleep, because she tired. And you gave her a gift and she appreciated. So look, don't stop. Get her another for nothing gift. If that's one of her main love languages, quality time, playing a little Netflix, massage her temples, massage her scalp, massage her shoulder while you watching Netflix. She might fall asleep. She tired. Okay, keep doing it. Don't throw it in her face about what you're doing for her. Keep loving her relentlessly. And then here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna fill that love tank up. She's gonna get into a space to where you've worked and you've created a space to where she can be comfortable, where she could get good rest, where she could get her hair done, she could get her nails done, she could get a massage. You create this space and you loving her, and then boom, that love tank gonna be full. And then she going to reciprocate that love. Because remember, you chose a good woman. You chose the good woman with a good heart, with good character. You chose her with a sober mind. If that's not your case, I'm not talking to you. But if that is your case, I'm talking to you. So you got a good woman. So when you loving her, then boom, what's going to happen? Boom. She going to hit you with that love. And when I tell you, it's going to blow your socks off. It's going to knock your socks off. It's going to be in every area. It's going to be in every area. And now, because of the way I love my wife and the way I speak her love language, and I've been doing this now for years. Our first 2 years, we got married 2007. 2010. So the first full 2 years, 2007, 2008, 2009. 2009. That third year, I started to change my life and really get right. By the end of that year, I had to make a decision. Hey, I got to be a real man. 2010 come around, I started rolling. I wasn't perfect. I still had little attitudes. I still could be condescending, be too blunt, be too rude. I still could be one-sided, just see things my way. But every year I just kept working. 2011, 2012. And then I just kept working, kept getting better and better. Now we're in 2021, and I'm looking at her. She walking around here like an angel on a cloud. I mean, just happy. And every day I remind myself, hey, don't be petty. Don't start no argument. Don't read into nothing. Be slow to anger. I'm giving myself these cues. So whatever your issues are, you got to write it down and you got to remember it. Hey, be slow to anger. Hey, don't debate. You love to debate with her and it drains her. It makes her feel less than. You love to make her feel dumb. You love to make her question herself. You got to stop that. You got to check yourself. You got to uplift her. You got to speak life into her, especially if y'all got kids. Even if you don't got kids, you got to do this, but especially if y'all got kids, because she need to be full for them. They need to see a glow on her. My son told me, my 13-year-old son told me, he said, Dad, he said, Mom thinks you are hilarious. He said, when you're texting her, she just is like crying, laughing. She's busting out laughing. I sat there, I just had to pat myself. I had to pat myself on the back because it took me some time to get to that place to where I could bring peace, to where I could be her peace. And then guess what? When I be her peace, she'd be my peace. So I said, hey baby, I want to trade in this car right here and get this car. Because, like my car is kind of like my sanctuary. I shoot videos in there, I pray in there, I talk in there. I need my car to be comfortable at whatever level that I can afford. I always wanted to have me a nice car, at the best I can afford. And so I said, bro, I want to get this car. My other car, I had only had it like a year, like 12 months. And so she said, okay, cool, go ahead, but it's because of the space that I've helped her get to, that she has peace. So she want me to have the desires of my heart, because I give her the desires of her heart. Stuff that she may be thinking about, that she wants, that she don't want to spend the money on herself. I know what she like is coming in the mail. It's coming. She opened it. She like, wow, I've been looking at this, but I was afraid to pull the trigger. Because she get paid from our companies. So she earned good money. She could buy anything she want to buy. She literally can afford any purse that's out there. She can afford anything that she want to buy. She earned good money from our companies. But she won't do that on herself. She won't spend like that. And so guess what? I know she won't. I do it. And wherever you at in your budget, that might be $100 gift for you. That might be a $50 gift for you. Wherever you at in your budget, do for her what she won't do for herself. My wife, when we was struggling financially, she would never ask to go get her nails done. She would never ask to get a massage, to get her hair done, to get a facial. She would never ask. She would never ask. Like, it took, we were married like 6 years before she asked me for something. Before she said, baby, do you think I could do this? Like, she just had that personality of get it out the mud, don't ask. Get what you get, don't pitch a fit. That's how she had that personality, so she wouldn't ask for anything. She might hint toward it, but she wouldn't deliberately ask. And so I got to a place to where I said, baby, listen, you set a schedule. Every 2 weeks you go get your nails done. If the nails cost $30 and you look in the account and we got $30.01, go get your nails done. I'll make some more money the next day. And so I told her that. She ain't do it for a little bit. She'll do it, then she'll fall off. She'll do it, she'll fall off. Then I had to let her, listen, I'm serious about this now. Take care of yourself. Like, love yourself. Give yourself that woo-saw, Take care of yourself. Your self-care, your emotional health. You look good, you feel good. If you don't look good, you're not gonna feel good, and that's gonna trickle down to your interactions with our kids. If you looking like who shot John and forgot to kill him, you feeling broke, busted, and disgusted, tore up from the floor up, and so came to that place to where had to let her know that, and she started to do that. Now this right here, what's gonna blow your mind? This gonna shower. This right here this is where you wanna turn the video off. You ready? You like, man, no. This is what I want to do. My goal is to keep my wife in a constant state of peace. To keep her in a constant state of peace, love, and happiness. Whatever that looks like. So we in January. Valentine's Day is February. On a natural side, I'm like, okay, let me wait for this next holiday. But I'm in a space in my life to where I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So I had one little gift, little earpods come in, had a purse come in, I had I had her like 3 or 4 or 5 gifts come in January. And she told me yesterday, she said, do not get me anything for Valentine's. You have done enough. And for her to say that, I know she meant it. Now, if the Lord bless me and I have a few dollars that I can get something, then I'm going to still get her something for Valentine's. And then our anniversary in March. And so, but I'm trying to provide, whatever at the max capacity. And so, wherever you are, you have to be creative. Because I used to earn $20,000 a year. So like financial gifts, that wasn't a thing. But I let my finances make me feel down, and I didn't do enough emotionally. Or I do something emotionally. And so now if I could go back, I would just, and I did get to the point that I did do stuff to where, early on in our marriage still, to where I just massage her feet. That's free for me. I give a full body massage her back. And I put it in my phone, and I put a calendar in my phone. Monday night, it said run Cherie bath water. So I run a hot, steaming hot. She love it hot. Put the little bubbles in there, and I put candles around it. That's inexpensive. On Tuesday, it'll say give Cherie a back massage. Wednesday, it was write Cherie a poem. Thursday was for nothing gift. When I started this, my for nothing gift, all I could afford was like a $12 dress from Target. But it was just the thought that count. It was the thought that she was like, wow. And she just would appreciate the fact that I was out and about on a random day, no holiday, and I'm thinking about her. And so you have to get to that place. You got to get to that place to where your goal, your mission in your life is to keep your wife happy. But see, you hear men say, my wife's happiness is not my responsibility. That's where men go wrong. She has to choose happiness, but you can help put her in a place that she can choose happiness easily. Because you could do the world for her and she could choose bitterness. She still has to choose happiness. But by you saying her happiness is not your responsibility and you have nothing to do with it, that mindset is going to have you very lax. It's going to have you very distant. It's going to have you very laid back. And you're not actively loving her. So you're not looking for how you can be a blessing. I was in here in my office tonight because she cleaning, she doing her thing. So it's like I ain't had nothing to do. And my boys, they doing their homework, they doing their thing. So I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? I don't want to just sit and watch TV when I could be doing something productive. So I'm in my office shooting videos. This is my third video tonight shooting. And then I'm on my computer, I'm uploading the videos and I'm on my computer and she come in here and she came to the window and she said, hey, can you do me a favor? And I was like, yeah, what's up? I done showered, I'm clean. She said, can you go to Publix for me, to the grocery store? And I was like, yeah, cool. And any time of night, 10 p.m., midnight, if she get hungry at midnight, I'm shooting up the Taco Bell. If she that hungry and she just craving, a cheesy gordita crunch, that's what she like, with a medium Baja Blast soda, I'm shooting up there to get that. And I'm in my car that she was okay with me getting. 633 horsepower. I'm listening to that baby purr. So I'm feeling good. I'm praying. I'm talking to the Lord. I shoot me a video and I'm going and I'm getting her a little bite to eat. And I'm also sharing something with you real for those of y'all who, think everybody just live this picture perfect life. Yes, me and my wife eat Taco Bell. All right, we pray over it, we bless it, and we gon' look. You only live one life. You around there crunching on that celery, but and that's another thing. If my wife want to eat something at 12 o'clock, I'm not finna tell her, hey girl, you shouldn't be eating this time of night, girl. You need to watch your figure. That's gonna put weight on you. Now go ahead. What you want? Ramen noodle? Eat what you want to eat. She studied the body. She know the body. She know what she can handle. She know what she need to do. She do everything in moderation. She ain't eating that every 7 days a week. She might have that once a month, once every 2 weeks, and she just believe in balance. And so, okay, cool. So what I want you to walk away with from this video is help your wife flourish. Allow her to flourish. Don't step on her toes. Don't cramp her style. Don't try to change her to make her think like you. And every single day ask yourself, what can I do to show her that I love her? Not she know I love her. She know I love her. If I ain't love, I wouldn't be here. If I ain't love, I wouldn't be working to pay these bills. No, show her. Show her, what can I do? And it's something that she love. That when you do that thing, she love that. And it's across the board. In the bedroom, out the bedroom, outside, whatever it may be. My wife, she love fashion. Her mama, they was broke a lot of days and then they had money some days. But her mama, even not having a lot of money, her mama, she dressed like she $1 million. I see her mama looking like $1 million. I ain't never seen her mama go out the house in no sweatpants and no t-shirt. Her mama gonna be dressed from head to toe. So my wife, she kind of got that, like she'll go out in sweats and stuff, but she love fashion. So me knowing that, I have every fashion app, every shopping app, and I leverage credit because you have things like a firm, and you got certain sites that'll let you finance interest free certain items that you buy off of these certain little sites, like the Real Real. That's one of the sites I use. Net-a-Porter, I think they pronounce it. That's another site. And then all the fashion houses, I got their apps on my phone. Rebag, that's another little site that, sell purses. Because she don't mind, like, use stuff, too, that's, like, vintage or is gently used and it's like a collector's item. She not picky like that. She ain't like, oh, it gotta be brand new. She not like that. Because it looked brand new anyways. But when I didn't have the money, I literally I leverage credit and just finance it. And that's crazy to a lot of people. But for me, it's like the way I look at it is I don't want my tomorrow not promised. I want my wife to know that I sacrificed, I gave everything that to love her and show her I love her. Like I don't want to be so caught up on money or so caught up on this one mindset or whatever it is, food, how we eat or how we work out or how we spend money and be so anal about something that I'm missing the joys of life and real love in life. Like I want her to know that I was flexible, that I was fluid, that I was open-minded, that I was fun, that I was spontaneous, and that I took chances to show love. And that's just me. That ain't gonna work for everybody. I know some people gonna drive that in the ground and call me stupid and all of that. But you know what I did? As soon as I could afford it, I got a life insurance policy. That way I say, well, listen, if I don't have millions on top of millions in the bank, you still gonna have something. If the Lord called me home, you gonna have you a nice little something. And so I at least did that. And then when I got in a place to where I could put up money on the market, and I started doing that. And I'll put money on the market without her even knowing because it was like she get paid, I get paid. So out of my pay, I'm putting up money on the market. I bring and I show her all these different accounts with money on the market, and she like, wow. Because she had no clue I was doing that. And she like, baby, thank you so much for thinking about our future. So it's like, listen, you do you handle your side of things. So listen, I'm gonna handle my side of things. Her mind, she really ain't focused on that because she literally tell me it was so many nights that her and her mom had to go to Taco Bell and get a bean burrito for 89 cents and split it in half. And that was their dinner. And so my wife, she don't focus on money like that. She like, listen, I know what it feel like to have nothing, and I ain't scared to have nothing. As long as I got love. Her and her mama had love. They sit in that car that her mama drove for 10, 15 years, and they split that bean burrito. She said it was days she come home from school, her mama pick her up, and they go to the apartment, and all the furniture on the sidewalk, they done got evicted. She got evicted, she said 16 times before the 9th grade. So she don't trip about that. And her being Jamaican, she lying. Every little thing is gonna be all right. You see what I mean? And so I realized that about her personality. So I said, okay, she's not really focused on money. She's not gonna talk about IRAs and all this, investment accounts and ETFs, and she's not gonna talk about that kind of stuff. That's not where her focus is at. Her focus is raising her kids and loving them, helping them be smart in school, to get a good education, being a great wife and mother, and her focus is there. So I said, okay, where she's not thinking about that because that just ain't her thing, that's my thing. I'm into it. Let me think about the investments. Let me think about the next business move that makes sense, for the household, for the brand. And so she trusts me in my area. I trust her in her gifts and her strengths. And so that's how we rock. And that's what I want men to understand. Like, you didn't marry a robot. You didn't marry a dummy. Like, she might not be as good as you in everything. She might not think about things that you think are common sense. She might not be into that stuff. But if you into it, then that's good enough because you into it. So let her be into what she's into. Let her cover what she wants and knows how to cover, and understand y'all are a team. She's strong where you weak at. Her strength may be in recreation and traveling. Guess what? That's a strength because that's living life. That's giving you life. And that's what one of my wife's strengths. She planned us a 6-week vacation. Like, we didn't even have the money. We didn't have the money. I was on every credit card in the world. But I say, you know what? These memories, that is priceless. So if I got to put this on a credit card, I'm cool with that. Because tomorrow ain't promised. Some men, they so worried about that. And I said, no, the Lord gonna bless me with the gifts to make the money to pay these credit cards off. And guess what? God did just that. He did just that because I wasn't afraid to live. I wasn't afraid to trust God for what I needed. And so, you know, I made that move, and guess what? After doing that's 6 weeks in Europe. We went through Europe, and we paid cash for a lot of it, and we put some on credit cards, put the rest on credit cards, and that's what they there for. So we got points. So we able to cash them points in for cash or cashing in for more travel, and then came back. I was refocused. I was centered, and I took my bid, and boom. That's when I started going hard on YouTube when I got back. Because I had so much fun with my family in them 6 weeks going through Europe that when I got back, I said, you know what? I gotta focus on an element of business that'll keep me home more. And that was YouTube. And then guess what? My YouTube took off, and it grew, and it started to, you know, be a blessing. It started to be a blessing. It started to earn and pay. Actually, I got a course for YouTube for beginners. So you see the link in the below, Tony Gaskins Academy. Go there. You get the course, YouTube for beginners. It's on pre-order right now, but I'm gonna launch it within 30 days. I'm just giving people time to take advantage of the pre-order price. But at YouTube, it changed a lot. You know, it allowed me to be home more, but still earn some of what I would be earning if I was on the road speaking. And then it was perfect timing, and it was like just God whispering that into my spirit, because right after I got serious about YouTube, then boom, the pandemic hit. But now I'm in a zone. I'm in a space with something that I still could serve my purpose, but yet still be compensated for the work and the time and the value, just as if I was speaking at a live event. But instead of speaking at a live event to 12 athletes, 15 athletes, or to 700 or 1,000 or 2,000 people, I could be on YouTube and literally speak to tens of thousands or millions and still be home with my family, to where my sons could come interrupt me any second. My wife could come interrupt me. As soon as I get off this video, I could go now. I'm finna go and watch the game with my wife. And it's like, you can't beat it. But that clarity and that wisdom and that vision comes when you taking care of your household as a husband, and you loving your wife like that on that level. And she supporting you, you supporting her. Y'all take off and flourish. Hey, this is Tony Gaskins. I didn't mean to talk this long. I just wanted to talk like 30 minutes, but it went a little longer. And I'll come up with other video topics. If you happen to be a husband that see this, or if you happen to be a wife that see this, and you have other topics, you know, not just topics super specific to your relationship, but topics that could benefit any marriage, put it in the comments for me. Or for you singles that's preparing for marriage, stuff that you want to know about, you know, put it in the comments for me. God bless you. We'll talk soon.